Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is that you're listening to this. My name is Wanzuu. I'm your host for the Walking with Wanzuu podcast. November 19th is International Men's Day, and I thought, what a better time to be able to have a lot of male-centered conversations around this particular time. And so the entire month of November, I'll be having all male guests unpacking different issues pertaining to life, but from a male experience and from a male perspective. Stay tuned. I hope you resonate with some of the issues and some of the things that we'll be discussing and unpacking. I'll see you soon. Happy listening. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to the podcast. I hope you've been doing well. I know we skipped an episode last week, but let me tell you, life is busy and finding a male guest in this Nairobi. First of all, let me just say, Machali, imagine ukikuja huko hakuna kitu baya mnakuja kufanyiwa. Just come we talk. But it's another beautiful day and another good episode because I finally found my next guest. Remember, I said that in November we're doing a male series, so all those conversations that we've been wanting to talk about, but include the men as well and get a male perspective, we're having them this November. So without further ado, I want to introduce our third guest on the podcast. Karibu.
Asante.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Steven.
Yes.
Or Steve. I'm a man.
You're a man. Clearly.
That I'm sure about.
Okay.
I believe I'm your friend.
You are, yes.
Wanzuu,
Yes.
and an avid listener.
Of the podcast. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I get a lot of feedback from you, by the way, on a lot of episodes. And I like interacting with my listeners. So this is my listener who's also my very good friend. So thank you for coming on and for making the time to come. Today we're going to be talking about chivalry and what is it, guy? What kind of a topic? I think I'm nervous. And societal beauty standards,
Yes.
but from a male perspective.
Yes.
I think the first point to start off with would be chivalry. So what is your understanding of chivalry? Wewe kama wewe, you as you, how do you understand chivalry?
Okay. Okay. I did some research by the
Yes.
because this is a topic that it's something that people like you said, it's something that people talk about
A lot, yeah.
people say it's ended, it's no longer there and all that. So I wanted to first of all know what definition is out there, so that I see if what my understanding is. So so from my research, and I hope I don't sound very academic.
You already sound academic, do you?
So chivalry is it's a medieval thing.
Yeah.
So it's something that started with the medieval knights.
Yes.
Yes, and that is very early, like in the 1500s.
Yes.
It's quite something that started before.
It is,
And
yeah.
it was a standard of behaviors that men, especially, or knights, were expected to have.
Yes.
Yeah, so especially towards women. Though there are a lot of kinds of chivalry.
Yes.
There's one that is in military, there's one that is towards women, towards your own relationship.
Yes.
Yes. So growing up, it's something that even if you don't know the definition, the things that you are expected to do as a man, maybe when interacting with a lady.
Yeah.
So things like opening the door, things like walking on the outside of a sidewalk.
Yes.
Outside side. Yeah, it's basically those things.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I think my understanding of chivalry will be the same. I like that you've given examples about stories for like walking on the sidewalk and stuff like that. I think so. Chivalry for me, and from the what is it called? The definition that I sought out was chivalry is polite, kind, and unselfish behavior, especially by men towards women.
Yes.
So for me, because sasa unajua me, I'm here representing the ladies,
Yes.
so I really want to focus on the chivalry for how we relate
Yes.
to women.
Right.
Yeah. I believe that men have roles. I think you've had this maybe in like I don't know if you've ever done counseling with your sibling or you need like couples counseling or stuff like that. Usually, if you do couples counseling, you're told about the three P's.
Yes.
And the three P's that a man should do. That is to provide, protect, and profess. To profess is usually claiming your person, like saying, this is my family, this is my woman, this is my what, this is mine. And then to provide, of course, it's in the sense of, providing like necessities, food, clothing, shelter, etc. etc. I said provide, profess, and protect. And then to protect is, as a man, you need to guard your own. Yeah. So for me, chivalry encompasses those three things. And that is when, like you were saying now, if you're walking on the sidewalk, of course, you want to go and walk on the side where the is more susceptible to danger. If you're in a space where protection is needed, then the man would be expected to do that. Yeah, so that's my understanding of chivalry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now, growing up, what were some of the spaces that you felt you gathered small examples of what chivalry is? If you're comfortable, I'm happy to even take it back way home to maybe your dad or your siblings. What was an instance now, even looking back in retrospect, you're just like, I can see how my old man was moving in a way that even me I would want to emulate. What are some of those instances?
A good question.
Yeah.
So yes, of course. I believe personally, I believe, and I think it will come up in the conversation.
Okay.
I believe your father is like the first person that should show you how to behave as a man.
Well, that's the first man you're exposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I recently became one, so it's a it's a new rocket.
Sasa sija-connect nini, tungekuwekea ma sound effects hapa, usijali.
That I have, it's a new rocket on my back.
Yes.
And I'm also seeing now these things. So that's a good question. So so of course my dad, you see the way he carried himself, even if they got into an argument, okay, they didn't get into like a full blown argument, but maybe if your mom throws like a comment, if you're like, if it was me, I would throw hands. But you see your dad is calm, and when you're young, maybe you might not understand.
Yeah.
And maybe you might look weak.
Yes.
But growing up, you come to understand.
Yeah.
But even that is just a form of chivalry.
Yes, it
that
is.
Your dad has seen. I've seen it important to just to contain himself.
Yes.
Yeah. Because also I'm saying this, I don't want to say things that are not happening, because that time also, I don't think our parents were very romantic, maybe.
Yes.
But the things you see. So
like what that, now? Because no, maybe yours was a typical African household. Think of us maybe at small public displays of affection. What was small PDA that you saw?
PDA.
Hi
PDA. Maybe if there was a drink in the house, and your dad becomes a bit jolly.
Inebriated.
Jolly. You would see maybe the way she talked to your mom, the way she should call her.
Yes.
Of course, they are not calling each other.
Small terms of endearment. Maybe once in a while.
Maybe if your mom is called, like not her, and then maybe that's when you realize that your mom maybe has like a nickname. Because maybe he'll shorten. I don't say my mom's name.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll shorten it, and then you realize,
okay.
My mom is not just.
Maybe I'll catch up things
like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'll say that. So to go to another thing that I saw about chivalry.
Yeah.
I think they will just be given priority. Not even your mom only.
Yes.
Maybe even your sisters. They are the things that you will see. They will be done to them.
Yes.
That you won't be done to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a certain kind of priority that given just by virtue of the fact that these are the ladies of the house.
And then maybe there's a day I think my dad wasn't around, and Robert, thieves. I don't think they really broke into the house.
Yeah.
But there was that commotion, and I remember I slept. I think I woke up when everything was. Yeah. So then you start to realize your dad is away, maybe on a trip. So then you realize, okay, it means that I should have been awake.
Yes.
I should have been awake, or I should have been. Or if anything happens, then it's me. You know, your mom is older than you, your sister is older than you, but still, you're
Isn't
feeling
that?
like
Yeah.
I will if that thief came today, I
I would
will
want
be
to
yeah.
protect.
Or if there's a snake in the house, a secret
Mm-hmm.
in the house,
Mm-hmm.
you're not go. And even maybe things like slaughtering a chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, your sisters are like they cannot stand
Me,
it.
I slaughter chicken by the way. And because
Uh,
I really enjoy it. Like when I
yeah,
go to the village,
yeah.
nipe kuku yangu.
Okay.
I'll slaughter it, I
Yeah.
remove the feathers, the intestines, really, I cook. That's something I do. And it surprises a lot of people.
Okay.
Mbuzi tu ndio siwezi
So
chinja
we
bado.
had sisters who were a bit
Scared?
scared of them or
Oh,
killing it,
yeah.
slaughtering it and all that.
Mm.
You so you'll be called, "Hebu come and do this."
Come, you do
Or
this thing.
kitambo when you used to
Yeah.
fix aerials, because
Yes.
ikiface longo not
Oh, I
so
know.
you'll be
Gen
called
Z
to
are
do
a
that.
struggle.
There's a
Mm.
time we had dogs in the house, and one passed on like
Yes.
a few days before we closed school.
Mhm.
That was in high school.
Yeah.
So you come back, you
Mhm.
find maybe 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't started like smelling,
Yes.
but now nobody is there to
To
remove
take care
it
of the body.
when
Yeah.
your dad is on a
Mm.
trip or away.
Mm.
So you come, now it's you supposed
Mhm.
to do
To
that.
dispose.
Yes. I don't know if it's wrong. I hope I don't confuse them with gender roles, but
With yeah.
I hope I don't confuse them.
It's
But,
like no, it's okay
mm,
because you'll find in the home it's kind of an unspoken rule. There are
mhm.
some things that if then there's a man to do it, then
Yeah.
automatically he would step up to the plate and do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even so for me, and we were speaking about this earlier. I come from a family that's saturated with a lot of women,
Mhm.
but I would see how if my male cousins are around or my mom's brother is there, it would be like, "Hey, but can a man do it though?"
Yeah.
So yeah, then it would, and it feels good also as a woman. Just feel like okay, someone can protect me or can come through in that aspect, as opposed to me trying to step up to the
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah.
And I like that I've said that. There's a lot to be said about how society is structured now.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard about having masculine energy and having feminine energy.
Yeah.
I think all of us have a certain, both men and women. Sasa hapa I'm going to try and speak categorically about men and women because if we include all these other genders, you see, like I'm broke a good one. I identify as rich, but at the moment, mambo ni magumu. So for this particular conversation, I want to focus on just men and women.
Yeah.
Um, I have seen on numerous occasions now a lot of women being forced to tap into their masculine energy
Mhm.
and kind of take charge
Mhm.
for things that automatically you would feel like, but it would be best if a man did that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? And what do you think has contributed to that?
So you're saying these things are changing?
I'm saying they're changing,
Okay.
yes. And I'm not even saying they're changing from a point of, toxic nini, what is it called? Toxic feminism, those ones for, but what a man can do, a woman can do better. I'm seeing how certain scenarios and just social norms
Mhm.
are pushing women to kind of
Mhm.
take on male roles and male responsibilities. And then now it's what brings about the conversation for the day she voted because sasa
I get your question.
yes.
Okay. So still on that, my research.
Mm-hmm.
So even from the just when you go and do your research,
Mm-hmm.
you find that the same chivalry was dynamic
Mm-hmm.
even during those times. It was
Okay.
dynamic, so it adjusted in response to local situations,
Uh-huh.
and that probably led to its demise.
I hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So these local situations, like you've said now, that it forces women now to take up those roles. Then it means that our local situation
Mm-hmm.
makes us adjust.
Kind of adjust the
Yes,
needs.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Around
so I
chivalry.
don't think we can fight it. It has to change,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, those changes might lead to or have led to the demise of chivalry.
The demise
Yeah,
of
yeah.
chivalry. So you
So I
agree
don't know
that
if that
chivalry is
answers.
dead? I mean, I feel like it's dead to some extent.
But okay, now let me ask this also.
Ask.
Yes. So if these knights, let's just go back to these
Yes.
knights.
Let's go back.
They were doing all these things to the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that they expected? Do you think there's anything that they
Not
got in
at all.
return?
Not at all. I think what they would get in return, which takes me back to, so there's people how people react is usually as a result of how they are treated most times, because every action has a reaction.
Yes.
So if you're put as a woman, if you're put in a space where you're cared for, you're protected, your natural response would be to nurture. And nurturing comes in different forms. You can nurture someone's hopes and dreams. You can nurture someone by just taking care of them. You know, people say, me, I like my woman taking care of me. When I come home, she's on my case. She's like, where does it hurt? Have you eaten? Do you want to take a shower? So then for women, now losing sight of what the question was. Oh, were they expecting anything in return? They were not. However, as a result of their actions, that's what they got in return.
What?
Just
what did they get?
They got a lot of nurturing and good vibes.
I see these jokes on the internet, where someone is exchanging spaghetti and a laptop. So recently, men have been saying this is the kind of transactions that
they are doing.
That we get with women. So I don't know. Maybe that's also leads to demise.
What do you think? So do you think the men were being chivalrous with something else in mind? Like, did they expect something in return?
Not when you're answering. Actually, thought that maybe that I structured it wrongly. Not even expect, but did they just get anything in return? So just to answer your question, I was speaking to someone.
Yeah.
I'm avoiding saying my friend. So I was speaking to someone and about chivalry. He said loyalty is rewarded.
Yes.
And I think in many things. So maybe those guys were getting loyalty
in return.
And maybe we're not getting it now. So
why?
Why should we be chivalrous?
No, I feel like people get loyalty now.
Are you sure?
They do.
Because you see, even in those days, even chastity was part of chivalry.
Wow, yes.
Even on the part of the men.
We're really taking this conversation
even on
back.
The part of
I
the
like
men,
it.
But are we getting that right now?
So I'll toss what you said back to you. I remember you saying how situations, when situations change, then even how people's behaviors and the structure of how they move changes.
Yes.
I think men back in the day were chivalrous because that was just a state of being. That's how they were taught to. You see how women are prepared to be good wives. So back in the day, it was like, as a man, you know what? This is how you move. You protect women. You do this. You do that. So it's just like, but that's how it should be done. They weren't even doing it with like an end in mind. You see, but now, when you bring us into, and I'm bringing it forward now to now, when you're in a position where as a woman, you come with that mindset for the 1500s, where you're told, hey, they'll be chivalrous, you be loyal in return, be nurturing, be all these things. And what you get in return is no loyalty. Then the men that you interact with now are not being chivalrous, they're not being honest, they're not being loyal, they're not taking charge. And sometimes, once bitten is not twice shy. So you do that the first time, you get punched, it's like, maybe it was just a bad apple. So let's go back into the knee and try again. And that happens numerous times. What do? You come back and you ask yourself, and then clearly, I need to change my strategy because there's something that I'm doing wrong. So when you go back unaangalia streets unaona, now even you start having conversation with your girlfriends and you'll be told you're big loyal. No wonder you're getting hurt so much. See you nini. So you change your strategy, do this, do that. Then that's what makes the women also change. And they feel like then now me I won't approach it from a point of I need to be loyal.
So is it a question of the chicken and the egg? Which one disappeared first? Is it chivalry that disappeared first, or is it?
I think chivalry disappeared first. I think men got a bit too comfortable. But now the question is, so when did the ball drop?
So So and I think this will maybe those things that we are supposed to speak about.
Yes.
I think it is a vicious circle. Because what you've asked, I was also looking at the other thing that we were supposed to discuss with you about the role of a man in a house.
Yes.
And I was just checking something here
that
got me really interested. It says the male role in the family is but so men continually men they model gender norms and adult sexuality. They provide resources. They offer nurturance and support. And so nurturance is not only
Or on
women's
women,
side.
it can be okay, cool.
So and also they manage and maintain the family unit.
Yes.
So I was interested in what does gender norms mean. So I googled and it says it's gender norms are the ideas of about how women and men should be and act. So to answer your question, maybe even the roles of men have to in a house have changed. So because apparently they're the ones who are supposed to, and maybe ladies don't kill me. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
So maybe men were the ones who were supposed to tell both women and men how they should act.
Yeah.
You get my point. So maybe that changed, and women and men are no longer not taught. I don't say taught. They are no longer guided on how they should act. So maybe the ball gets dropped. Maybe that I don't
It
know.
drops well because now what you're saying would start negating patriarchy. Because when you start saying it's the men, it's kind of, I'll say it in a very neither here nor there kind of way. It's like the men are supposed to show us tunaenda hivi, and then now the rest of society kind of models it from that kind of meaning. Is that because when you say men define gender norms,
No.
then that would mean it's like the men say, okay, I think us men we should do this, women should do this, and this is how we should move. And then everybody else kind of structures how they move around what that direction. Is that accurate?
Yes, but sorry to cut you.
Okay,
But
no
in
problem.
an individual, you see, these are units,
Yes.
and then those units make it's like how we have been taught about
Yeah.
atoms and protons and whatever.
Mhm.
So it's individual units.
Yes.
Do this, and
Oh
then
yeah, and then
understand
it
what I'm
kind of
saying?
becomes
Yes,
anime. Okay,
yes,
I hear
yes.
you.
So
So it's also not at just one person. I'm saying, okay, guys,
Yeah.
this is what we are doing, and then everybody.
No.
It's if a huge number of people kind of do it the same way, then that becomes a
Yeah,
norm.
just like when we used to grow up, your neighbors' parents would whoop you if they found you doing misbehaving.
Mlelewa wapi
Yeah.
huko?
You will never-
Parenting was communal responsibility.
Yes. But you see now, it's if this is happening at an individual, maybe in a household, and then it's happening anywhere, then it becomes the way.
Yes, it
You
kind of
understand?
becomes yeah.
So
you
maybe
know.
to answer your question,
Yes.
you asked me where the ball dropped.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this is the reason. I just think
That's
this
where the
could
ball
be
drops.
this could be one of the reasons
Okay.
why. Yes.
Yeah, sawa. So then now this brings us to the role of the man in the home. What, judging from your upbringing and who you are even now, because now you also have your own individual responsibilities, what do you think the role of the man in the home is? And that's putting in mind, this is 2023. We have stay-at-home dads. If you're a stay-at-home dad, me, I'm struggling, but more power to you. We appreciate you. So bearing in mind everything that has gone on, the technological advancements, how people's mindsets have changed, what do you feel, you personally as you, is the role of the man in the home?
I think what I've just read,
Yes.
I was reading, I think nothing should change from that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can read it again.
Yes.
So the role of a male or a man should be, they should model gender norms. And gender norms here means about how women and men should be and act.
Yeah.
Like in my household, if I have a boy and a girl, I believe I should be able to not in a dictatorial kind of and not in a traditional kind of a way, but I should at least give that kind of direction,
sense of guidance. Yes.
And then also they said also about adult sexuality, which now right now it's a
That's
it's a wide topic.
That's a whole
I
podcast of its own.
I was even surprised that is listed there as one of the roles. Yeah. So also provide resources, which sometimes now can change. But yeah, still I think it's
depending on the predominantly
paying rent and all that.
Yes.
Offer nurturance and support. And manage and maintain the family unit. I don't think anything should change. Personally, I'm talking about person. I don't think anything should be removed from that.
So, if you are in a position where you are heading your own household,
yes,
what are some of the financial responsibilities that you would just feel, Mimi hapa? Maybe this one, let me say, I don't care if I have to work 20 jobs.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not going to give it to anyone else.
I think paying rent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one should be.
Yeah.
Uh, buying tokens. Because it means they say this thing they say keeping the lights on. I think
Yes.
that's
And the
the
man should keep
most.
the lights on in the
Yeah,
house.
yeah. Even
Yes.
when you argue, I can tell you I literally
I usually keep the
keep the
lights on
lights
in
on.
this house.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. But yeah, anything that keeps the lights on in
Yeah.
the house. Yeah.
I think I remember us having this. I think that was the first time that you and I had met, and I
Mm.
remember us having this conversation with a
Mm.
mutual friend, and you guys, because you were predominantly men
Yeah.
in the conversation, and I was the only chick there,
Yeah.
and I remember you people saying so strongly and
Mm.
with so much unison,
Yeah.
at me, if I was to be with my significant other and we're like in a living together kind of situation,
Yes.
I would never let them pay the big bills.
Yes.
I'm happy to pay the rent.
Yeah.
I'm like, let her just do the small things.
Yeah.
Why do people feel so strongly about that? Do you feel like there's going to be a certain kind of imbalance? Madharau fulani inaweza tokea hapo, ama why do you feel so strongly about that?
You've answered it
Mm.
because it's something, and I think for a man, you have to learn from other men.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying now your dad is the first person.
That
Then
you
you have
learn from.
uncles,
Mm.
you have elder brothers or cousins.
Mhm.
Yeah. And let me tell you, someone who has been in a certain situation, they tell you this is what you need to do.
Mhm.
Uh, and just take it from them. It's
Yeah.
from experience.
It's what they know what they're
There's
saying.
a day, maybe wamefungiwa mlango. Yeah. So unaweza fungiwa and you're the one paying rent. So imagine ukifungiwa, you've come late and you're not the one paying. So I think I think that one goes without saying.
So then, what happens to the idea of holding your significant other down? Because like right now times are hard. You said the other day so at the Ugandan shilling and the Tanzanian shilling is starting to thrive.
Yeah, for
I
the
said,
first
what is
time,
this?
sijui how many years,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So times are hard. Nani yako hapa Kaisari yako hapa anafanya the most.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, aren't you seeing a rise, especially me personally,
Yeah.
of men who are being comfortable having their significant other shoulder a huge part of the financial responsibilities in the home?
Yeah.
Haven't you seen that?
Okay. Women complain about that. Personally, have I seen that really? I don't know. Maybe
I feel like you
it's my
introduce
circle.
me to more of your
It's my
friends.
circle.
Yes, your circle is good.
Yeah, but you're saying there's a rise in men being comfortable, people paying rent for them. Which Kenyan men?
Yes. Even men who feel comfortable
Oh.
going Dutch on dates.
Oh, I've really, I've
Ati
seen
sasa
jokes.
si nilipia drinks so nilipia food.
I've seen jokes people saying that we are in our baby boy era now. So even
Yeah,
us,
you're baby boy era.
yeah, so even us, we've done, even our sisters have done all the heavy lifting.
There's
It's
a-
time for us now.
to relax.
I know, but I'm joking. But you see, also look at it this way.
Yeah.
Have you ever have you done even a simple experiment? Hata ukiwa Jogoo Road, hata si Jogoo Road, Mombasa Road. Have you ever seen
Yes.
in cars, these personal cars, which gender is? And I hope this. I hope I don't sound like a gender. I hate gender wars,
Yeah.
but it's just a social experiment. If you look at these personal cars,
Yes.
which gender is driving these cars?
It's really hard to tell.
Are you sure?
Say it's a bit hard to tell.
No, it's very
Say
clear.
it's a bit. Unless
It's
can
clear.
matatu because
It's
matatu
clear.
ni na machai.
Okay, my point is that I think women are doing better than men. I don't know. I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. Of course, men are more still with patriarchy and all that. Men are
Yes.
still
Way ahead
of women.
Yes.
But it's just
It's
a
an
little experiment
observation.
that I do.
Yeah.
There's someone who was joking also some time back. At that time, I remember I was just finished campus. You're out there, Tamaki. And then someone said that when they go to the stage in the morning,
Yeah.
there are more ladies at the stage than men. So
Yes.
you can infer that it's ladies that have jobs. That's why they're at the stage.
Waiting to get to their
Waiting
workplace.
to go to their work. So it means men don't have these jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that could
It could be contributing to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well, for me, I feel very strongly, and this wasn't my perspective growing up. I've always been a very if I'm holding you down, I'm going the entire 9 yards kind of person.
Mhm.
However, I have seen how the importance of sometimes stepping back kidogo and allowing men to kind of just as take whatever it is that is kind of naturally their role and responsibility, which is to lead and kind of shoulder a significant part of the burden
Yeah.
of life, whether it's financial and every other thing.
Yeah.
I have seen instances where sometimes if you allow yourself to kind of take on a position where you feel like you're doing things on a 50-50 kind of
Yes.
perspective or
Yes.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
it kind of brings an element of motherhood.
Mhm.
And it's very subtle. It's very, you even find yourself in an argument and you're just like, why see you go? See me, I can do everything. So then over time, I've learned the need to kind of take a step back
Yeah.
and allow men to move in their
To
need.
be men.
To just allow men to be men. It's hard to say. Yeah. So anyway, I was saying, I over time, I've appreciated the need to just allow men to be men. You ask me why. I'll give you an example, and I think I spoke about this a few episodes back. There was a time I was dating. Now, when after I had a baby and I went back into the dating field, and I remember feeling the need to really show I can do everything. You know, first of all, see, I'm an independent woman, doing any, yeah. And so I used to go into relationship with the mindset of I'll show you me I can do everything on my own. Yeah. So even when you find me having like a struggle where maybe like you're short of cash or you need advice, I'm reaching out to all my girls and even family. And the last person I'll tell is this person that I'm seeing after I knew that obstacle. Actually, like, hey, let me tell you, last month was hectic. I didn't have money, so just short on rent, to do what. And now they just look at me like, and this is when you're telling me. But I always used to think if I show you that I want to ask you for help or I need you for this, you'll never see me the same. You'll see me as a weakling or whatever. But now the script was flipped when I found out that they were cheating with the damsels in distress. So you want to sit here and be a strong black woman and act like you have it all together. This man is going to look for a damsel in distress. Wale watu wa aki agent 3K au ndio cheat na wewe now.
Okay.
So but now I started understanding the need of allowing people to just just allowing men to be men.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. And I think we talked about this the other time. And you're actually the one who brought up that perspective.
Yeah.
But then again, now the danger on a man's perspective is, and you've heard these stories of these jokes people say,
Yeah.
that you can be in the house, you don't have food,
Yeah.
and your woman has like 500 G's in M-Pesa, and she's also just there like she doesn't have a
It's
shilling.
hard to do.
So that's also the now that's also the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be here breaking my back. You now because you've decided me to be the man.
Yeah.
So me I'm
just having
breaking
a
my
good
back.
time.
Yeah, you're just there with your
You're making
hata umekula chama or yeah. So it's a
it's a balance.
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's the reason why when people live together, maybe they have to disclose how much do you earn, how much do I earn, so that I'll also know how much weight uh, you can carry and how much I need to carry also. Of course, not 50-50,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Would you disclose fully though? Like if your paycheck was like 70 G's, would you tell your person, me no pataka 70 G's? That's what I get. Would see you give a range? Would you be open to just sharing like the the actual amount?
so then that will also bring us to another thing that we'll discuss. I think these things we're discussing are very interconnected.
Yeah.
So individuality, I think one of the biggest things I think which is important is individuality.
Yes.
I can tell you maybe this works for me. I have people who have told me they disclose like everything.
Yeah,
Hata
to a
labda
T.
anakuja
Everything.
na nini inaitwaje, come with the payslip and just give it to you. Yeah.
See, this is what I
And it
want.
doesn't mean that it ended well. Some of them ended really pretty in a mess.
Yeah.
So I personally believe just individuality. I mean, if something works for me,
It doesn't necessarily
doesn't
mean it
necessarily
works for you.
work for you. But you see, by saying disclosing, it means that I'm not hiding another one. City,
Yes.
I'm telling you this is what I have, and then I have another hidden. And that's why
Yes.
I brought that joke home. You have like 500k in your pesa,
Just
and
chilling.
we're here.
And Mr. Man is here copying. Ako huko
Yes,
sijui nini.
yes.
Akifuliza.
So yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that will work for everyone.
Yes.
Somebody might even, maybe I'm not sure on them, but they've seen it somewhere, and then they're like, oh, okay, this guy makes
It's
it it's
money.
enough for two of us.
Yeah.
And then because you're not disclosed to each other, maybe let's just keep saying,
I don't have
I don't
money.
have, I don't have. And then the other person also get tired. Let me not lie to you.
They do.
Yeah, and I think I read something some time back to saying um, the the most the thing that makes even friendships break, it's and the most difficult topic to talk about is not even, let's say, sex, it's money. And even
It
friendships, it's
is.
money that
It
breaks even
is. I
friendships.
think. Yeah. I think
Mm,
money is a very
mm,
sensitive topic.
yeah.
Money is a very sensitive topic, and whether it's in, I've seen how, for me it's two topics. It's so funny. I realized this the other day at my big age.
Mm,
I'm very cringe when I talk about birth control.
mhm,
Like conversations that surround sex and birth control.
mm,
Sex not so much, but birth control are incredibly cringe to
mm,
me. And also money,
mm,
conversations around money.
mm,
I've and I think I'm not over it yet. I'm very cringe about money, especially when I'm in a romantic relationship with
mm,
someone.
mm.
I'm just like, so do I ask for help? Will that change your perspective? Do I give you, even you when you're in a fix? Do I ask you how your finances are? It's very cringe. It's very cringe.
Yeah.
But when you're in a space where you kind of are leading towards something serious, when you're looking long term, I think having conversations around money, somebody's money etiquette, mindset yake when it comes to money, what they're earning, what their future goals when it comes to money, I think it's very important to know. Why in this day and age of loans, let me tell you, you could be here settling down with someone else and not a branch, tala,
So how do you
and then
start?
that's the password you want to
There
me.
are questions you have asked here. So how do you start? What are your goals? There's some questions you've asked. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering which is the first one.
Of course there's smart ways of asking it. So utata tu kupatana na kijana wenyewe unaanza kuambia, by the way, how much
What
do
are
you
your
earn?
financial goals?
What are your financial goals?
Yeah.
You kind of ask, you throw in a conversation in terms of investment. But yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, I saw Stimasako have
Mm.
these house units that they're selling. Stimasako is actually a very nice place for investment. And of course they'll go like, yeah, unajua mimi hata sijawahi invest kwa sako yoyote. Or there's a way
Yeah.
they'll kind of ease into the
Yeah.
conversation, then you have that conversation.
Yeah.
But like I told you, when it's a relationship that you're thinking long term,
Mm.
sometimes you just have to go for the jugular.
Mm.
It is what it
So
is.
if I find your financial goals are not,
And not aligned with mine.
you break up.
No, we work around it.
Mhm.
Imagine no two people are the same.
Yeah.
If we go around, and I think that's what's killing relationships nowadays. That thing for stop working for me, I need to go. I don't like it. I don't push that narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think personally as a person, and it's more of a flaw than a good trait. I work around things too much before I walk away. Now, by the time unaona nimenawa, I've really
Yeah.
been. So I've never liked pushing the idea for.
Mhm.
They see this differently from me, and then
Mhm.
I think that's basis for kind of ending the relationship.
Yeah.
Of course, it's different when someone has an issue with like gambling.
Mhm.
Sasa wewe uko hapa una earn 70 Gs, 50K ni betting. Well, please, why are we together? Bye. Because you can gamble with fees, with rent, and what is that? So that would be a cause to like separate or whatever. But all these other things, I think you can work around them. I think values are things that you kind of see which are yours that are good and which are mine that are good that we can work on together.
Mhm.
And then also as we form a family or just go through life,
Mhm.
we even start making our own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a question you had asked me. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you've answered it.
Which one?
That led us here.
What did I ask you? Now I've been forgotten.
It asked about what a man. Oh, it was about those bills that are.
Yes, yes, yes. So what makes you feel like you people need to foot the bigger bills?
Yeah, cause if you can be locked out of your house when you're the one paying,
Uh-huh.
what about when you're not the one paying? What do you think can happen?
So you'll be locked out regardless. I mean, so you lose either way, even when you're paying and when you're not paying.
No, but
Maybe what we need
no.
to address is kwa nini unafungiwa nje. Maybe that's what we need to address.
See, maybe I went to watch football and I got derailed and I came. I said I'll come at 10 and then I come at 12 or 2.
I don't want to discount the fact that some partners can be incredibly dramatic. But me naonanga by the time to fika point unafungiwa nje, mazee, you really didn't, you really stretched someone's grace. You know? Yeah. So maybe what you need to address is kwa nini unafungiwa nje.
But I think also I think even in even in friendship, dynamics,
Yes.
let's say we go out, a group of 10 people,
Yeah.
and I'm the one buying the drinks. Do you think we are seated on the same table, we're all friends, but do you think the dynamics are the same?
They're not, and I've seen it. I've seen how even in a group of men, when you go out for drinks, the one who's usually the more comfortable one who foots the bill, there's just a way the other men move around him.
But
Yeah, and
no,
as
but yeah, but I've heard that line of thought. But
yeah.
you see, it's because I don't know if you saw that meme. You see, if ladies are going out, they even before they go out, they're like everyone is chatting 200, 200. But for men, one person is paying 10K, another person maybe is just bringing gas, another person is just coming to
For vibes.
yeah, for vibes. So
Yeah.
I think it's also just okay. I use this word just because I say manly. I don't want to
Yes.
because it has been misused. I think it's just a manly thing for a man just to cover
Yeah,
just to cover things.
Yeah.
Just to cover things. And I think maybe some of our parents also covered a lot of things for us.
But have you seen, and maybe you wouldn't know this, now I'll tell you this from a female perspective. It's not once or twice. Either it's your brother or your significant other, he'll cover his voice and then he'll come and bitch to you about it.
About bills.
Sorry to use that word.
Yeah.
So he'll be like, mazemi, I don't. You know, every time I hang out with the Kina Timo, now even imagine yesterday I paid changes. Actually, he was telling me, actually, bro, so you just cover me, so you just do this, and that. But when he's hanging out with the boys, he's like, don't worry, I've got you. Say less. Do you know me? But it's us who gets the nini.
Yeah, I know that happens. But I think
have you found yourself doing that sometimes?
Bitching about.
Okay, let's not use the word bitching. Let's say you're just like, I don't know.
Okay. Let me answer it this way. First, even the chivalry we're talking about, I think you also owe your even in male relationship, you should also be chivalrous.
Yes.
It's not only about relationship with women. And
yes.
that's why I was saying even in those medieval times, there's even chivalry in war or in your knighthood. Or
there's a kind of noble
military
character that you should
there are
have.
those things.
Yes.
I remember there's a movie which is called Men of Valor. Men of Valor, and it's talking about just codes of and military. I think military is the best example with how they say don't leave no man behind.
Yes.
So I think if you do that, you're not being chivalrous to your fellow men.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll go back to what I said. Maybe it's maybe we are not as men. Maybe we are not these next generations that we're having, we are not passing down some of these things, you know. Because me, I remember my dad told me one thing, like if you're in a bar and someone offers to buy you like a drink, and maybe you're tight on cash, and then so he buys you a drink, and when the waiter brings a drink, and you tell the waiter to just return the drink, bring me the cash. So he told me like that is one of the things that you should never do.
Yeah.
You know? And even you see those small things.
Yeah.
Or if you go to a bar and you're drinking, maybe let's say you're drinking what? You're drinking konyagi. Let me not mention brands. You're drinking some drink that is not so expensive.
It's not quote unquote top shelf.
Yeah. It's because that's what we have money for.
Yeah.
And then someone comes in and says, give him another round. It doesn't mean that now we change what you're drinking because it's another person. So there are these small things.
Yes.
So just answer your question. It's not good.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes we find ourselves doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe because you are now frustrated with someone. Maybe this
Yeah.
person
It's just
is
like
always,
constantly,
always,
man.
and it's not only you. It's
Yeah.
even someone else.
Actually, maybe someone else
Last
has
year,
mentioned
and
in
another time,
passing.
this guy behaved this way. So even you, like, I relate.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that is bitching. Maybe that's just therapy. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, but no, you shouldn't be going around
You
saying
shouldn't.
even for your and you brought a very
Uh-huh.
good topic.
Uh-huh.
Now that you're talking about men and women, someone told me that you see if a woman and a man are living together
Mm-hmm.
and a woman is not working,
Mm-hmm.
she's not working.
Yes.
This woman will stay in that house
Mm-hmm.
and nobody will know
Mm-hmm.
that this she's out of work right now.
Yes.
But a man living with a woman, you stay out of work for a month, all the neighbors will know. She'll go to the shop to buy something, and then she's still saying, "Hey, hata baba nani sahi hajakuwa kazi," you know. I think that's why, to answer your question, I think that's
Yes.
why we need to. Sometimes we just have to pay all these bills.
I like that you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it. There's two ways to look at it. Let me address first the issue for when men sometimes have issues with their boys
Mm.
and they save face and then they come and bitch to their partner about it. I think men also need to create space around their circles to be able to call each other out. There's something to be said, especially about the African culture. I can't speak a lot for because I feel sometimes even like Western men they over they really they'll express themselves like talking their emotions sometimes. Um, there's something to be said about how African men like to deal with things in a very subtle manner. They don't express themselves a lot. So you'll find in a circle where maybe there's one of your boys who's really anachoma picture too, like he's constantly making bad decisions and it's even affecting the friendship group. There's something to be said about how it's very few men who kind of like tell him, hey bro, what is it you're doing? Like, okay, even us now we're feeling some type of way. A lot of men will never do that. They'll never do that. You really will find a guy. I'll give you a good example. A guy, he's like this man is legit stepping out of his marriage, always hanging out with other women, drunk all the time. It's affecting his job. But when you people come and hang around him, you'll even tell him, "Hey, bro, times are going to get better. Let me buy you another drink. Let me do this." But you people are not addressing the main issue, and I feel like a lot of men do that.
Can I just interject?
It's you can. It's like how you people just kidogo. How you people choose to console is like you offer comfort in the moment, but you don't deal with the main issue. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw this online. Someone was saying,
Eh.
so if today my friend X calls me
Mhm.
and there's a football match, for example, it's Chelsea versus Arsenal or something.
Chelsea is in the house.
So so my friend calls me, come watch football. You see, the reason we're hanging out is to watch football. It's not for me to start calling you out. Why are you treating so and so? Why are you treating so and so badly?
Yeah.
Why are you out there cheating? This session is for us to watch football.
Let's concentrate on what it is that
Yeah,
we're doing.
that's how us men think.
So then now you're going
It
to
won't
tell
be a
me.
day for me to start telling you. Maybe you are straight up with me in our interactions. Maybe there's nothing you've done, so why should I start canceling you or
It's not even like about canceling. Honestly, friendship should be full circle, right? There's no way you'll see your friend going down a bad path. Like this, honestly, this person is your friend. This is your boy, and you're just going to see him go down a bad path and give me that flimsy excuse for. But sasa si time ya kumhold accountable. Sasa ni time ya futa. It
no,
doesn't mean.
my point was
Eh.
I hope it's not misinterpreted. I think the way men think
It's
is
very black and
different.
white.
It's very different from
Yeah.
how women think.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that there are no men who have talked to their boys. I'm
About
just
it.
saying uh, it won't be a because someone will say, "You guys are always hanging out with this guy. Why don't you tell him this and this and this?" It's not at always. Even guys, yeah, even as guys, you can sit and say, "Hey, Danny is not going down a good path." Let's not tell
Yes.
him." Yeah, but and then another thing, as men or personally as myself,
Yeah.
I also just give you the courtesy or the what's the word? I give you the benefit of doubt that as a man you're able to take care of your own.
Yeah.
And you might be going through a rough patch.
But
Not in terms of money, even in terms of your relationship. But I just try to give you the benefit of doubt that you'll steer that ship back on.
on the right
So
track. Yeah.
to say that sometimes I think that if I start now coming to ask you, hey, what your relationship is going, it's like I'm begging you, or I want to be the man in your relationship, you know. And let
Yeah.
me tell you one thing. I remember now that we're talking about men. One of the things I remember from high school, there's this geography teacher. He was in class, and then he asked a question in class. So you know, teachers know every kid's ability.
Yeah.
So if the question that a teacher would pose to an A student is not the same question
And
they
you
pose to
post to a
like
quote unquote like a
yeah,
D student
yeah,
or whatever.
they know the
Yes.
yeah. So this teacher posed a question to one of the I was in a boys' school. So to one of the students.
Yeah.
And then this guy was not able to answer this question.
Yes.
And then another student was, you know, teacher,
Yeah.
teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teacher gave him the opportunity to answer, and he got it wrong. So the teacher said one thing, yeah? He said it in mother tongue so that it sank because I was in school. So he said this, and I'll just paraphrase. He said,
Yeah.
something that you've seen another man
I'm laughing already.
fail to do.
Eh?
Don't usipeleke kibele mbele.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you with if my boy is dating you, for example,
Mm-hmm.
I should not at one point think that
I can do it better.
now I can do it better.
But you see,
You know.
you telling him, bro, I feel like maybe you should reevaluate this. It's not at any point telling him, maybe look at a relationship, me and ace it, me I'll do all the things you're doing right, wrong, I'll do right. That's not what it is. It's just kind of like calling, it's even the Bible says God rebukes those it is that he loves. I mean, there's something to that tune. So there's something to be said. Love is not always just vibing with you through the nonsense. Sometimes love is calling people out. And sometimes that's tough love. I feel like men maybe don't create enough spaces to kind of do that for each other. That's just my own personal opinion. We can go round and round in circles and try and unpack it.
Yeah.
But I think they could. Do they do it? Yes. Can they do it more and do it better? I think so.
Yeah.
It's even. I'll tell you a good example, and maybe even I think it's December and kunapongana the nini on gender-based violence, the awareness and the whole activism thing that's normally around it. I've seen not once, not twice, a space where a man is beating his significant other, and the boys are just chilling. It wasn't. It's like okay, as we don't want to ingilia the story, we don't know out there looking like SpongeBob. They're looking uncomfortable.
Someone
Yes,
they know.
yes, and they're just chilling. There was even a story I had of this girl. She was talking about there's a podcast called So This Is Love, and if you haven't, me, I'll plug you into it. It's a great podcast, and she was talking about how she was in the room with her boyfriend and his friends, and his friends had come to visit, and they were kind of beefing with her man. So when their friends came to visit, they got her a bottle of wine, and because she'd been really mistreated in this relationship, she was excited. She was like, "Oh my, you guys thought of me and brought me this bottle of wine. Oh, thank you." And it's like, "Why are you so excited over that bottle of wine?" And he got physical with her, and so he kind of like backhanded her and slapped her, and she, of course, being Aquan expect Akanguka, she toppled over and she fell. And she got up again. And when she got up again, he backhanded her again. And all this time, the boys are just there looking like, what's going on, guys? Why is he beating her? And no one even stood to say, please don't do that. I'm a funny, what's going on? No one even tried to stop him. So this chick is like me, you won't beat me, Evie. It's like even how wazimu zake zikafika mwisho. So she goes into the kitchen and she comes back with a knife. She's like, let me tell you, if you're beating me, one of us is sleeping in Langata, the other one is going to hospital. So when she comes in with a knife, now it's either like, boy, wait, what are we? Now it's like they want to stop the fight now. I say, it's not like that, you guys, the who talks, doing it. Now it's when they want to stop the fight.
Maybe that guy was the leader of the group.
I feel like he was. I feel like he was because she said that
do you believe
also.
men have that dynamic?
They do.
Sure.
They do.
Ladies, women
Ladies
do.
also
Women do.
Women do. Men also do. I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. But for me, it has to be. Of course, there are alphas, and then there are those who kind of are like the followers. But it has to be in a very written perspective.
from your observation, what do you think makes someone in male friendships? What makes someone the leader of the group? In quotes.
It's a lot.
Mm.
I think it depends on the group dynamic. I've
Mhm.
seen people being titled as quote unquote the leader of the group because he's the one who knows how to get the honeys and cheats without being found. So people in the eyes of the group, he looks
That's
like
just a
he's the
supplier.
oh wow.
That's just a
No, it's
supplier.
not even about being the supplier. Like he's the one who can keep a stable home, still cheat on his wife and she won't leave. And
Oh,
so
I get
in
your
the
point.
eyes of the other boys, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, but this man is
He
winning.
has this.
Yes, and then there's also the one who's the alpha because he's kind of like the with a stronger financial muscle. You know,
So alpha comes with the financial.
I feel like being an alpha comes with a certain level of awareness and confidence, and then it also really helps when you have a strong financial muscle. I think it's a combination of those two. Because there are people who are also just born leaders. It's like they say jump, it's like how high? Yeah. But for a lady, when you're dating a man who's kind of following the
Oh,
alpha,
yeah.
it's a very delicate balance. Juu sasa kama you're sucking up to a man like that, tuachane tumfuate sisi wote. Hiyo ni biashara gani unafanya? No, it's a very delicate balance. I wanted to respond to you saying a girl could be at home and she's jobless and you never hear anyone you would hear other people being told about it, and then let your man lose his job for 2 weeks. Sasa mama mboka anajua, jirani anajua, hata ule mama washanga hapo nje kwa ploti anajua. How most women process things is through venting. Yeah. Sometimes when they're saying it, aki it's not even to beat. Nipegeti natoka basi. It's just like, see, we are sharing, so even let me share with you. But some women also do it out of spite and malice, and that I will take. That I will take, and I will kubali that sometimes women do that. I think also part of growing up as you date more or get into, if you're married and you're kind of working on your marriage or your union, is learning that matters of the heart are not collective decisions. Someone I really respect told me that as women we have our friend groups and our people and our tribe that sometimes you go back to and you're ushaisikianga juu ya WhatsApp group venye umekasifikiwa na nini yako hapa because umemsamehea mapema sana, you need to be mad. It's actually a thing. It is. But when you learn that when the rubber meets the road, you're the one who knows what attracted you to this person. When unajua ni nini ya kufurahisha hapo, don't try and make matters of the heart collective decisions. But it's a delicate balance. As I've gotten older, I've learned when my significant other does something wrong to me, I'm not very quick to tell my family about it. And I'll tell you why. Especially my mom.
Yeah.
My mom is not in love with my partner. I'm the one who knows the good that I see in that relationship. I'm the one who knows why I am with them.
Yeah.
So when they wrong me and I tell my mom what they've done wrong, it's very hard for her to see past the misgivings, because she's not in love with him.
Yeah.
But me, I am. Yeah. So me, I'll take the good and the bad, and when it's good, I'll weather the storm. Yeah. So it's very, as you get older, especially as a woman, because sometimes our mouths be landing us in trouble. It's good to learn to kind of tack in certain issues that come with your relationship. Zingine mazee kufa tu kimoyomoyo because
And you've brought a very good point. But I think I wanted to ask you something. As maybe transition to another topic. So I saw something I saw online sometime back. I said, what's the worst part of dating in this generation? Now that you have started talking about it.
The worst part of dating in this generation for me is the lack of honesty. If I'm being truly honest, it's a lack of honesty. I think when people do certain things, a lot of us are moving in fear. I would say that fear of not being understood, fear of not fitting in, and fear of not meeting expectations. I've seen a lot of situations where I've gone into relationships or partnerships with a very open mind and a very open heart, and I'm led on or I'm lied to. So for me, in our generation now, I think that like to inanizuia kabisa would be that the lack of honesty. I feel like people are not honest enough.
Okay. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
I wanted to your opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
So someone responded
Mm-hmm.
that okay, call it fundamentalism.
Yeah.
So it's say especially in educated and middle class circles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dating was once a curiosity driven,
Yes.
gracious affair, but now it's a trauma informed, rigid vetting system. You
Yes.
can't get the benefit of doubt, and that brings that thing of not dating a whole group of people.
Yeah.
That something happens between me and you, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole WhatsApp group. And then this person talks about there's no we lack individualism. You know,
Yes.
when we come face to face with individuality, it feels
Yes.
like an attack on us.
Yeah.
You cannot be as loving as a you could be as loving as a pet,
Yeah.
as doting, as a partner, as a painter's brush stroke, as
Yeah.
patient, as
Uh-huh.
a saint,
Mm-hmm.
but he or she will still judge you on those preconceived notions
Yeah.
she or he has. And even what you said about if someone does you wrong and you can't even tell you
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the first part of my conversation with Steve. Look out for part two, which will be on the next episode of the podcast. Meanwhile, let me know what are some of the things that we discussed that caught your attention. I am learning so much from the men's series, and I would love to hear your feedback. You can find me on Instagram at Walking with Wanzuu Podcast. You can also write me an email at tewanzuu@gmail.com. I would love to hear your feedback. Life is too hard to go through it alone, so we just do life together. Amma, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.